going on, everybody? Happy Sunday to everybody. January 5th, 2025. If you're new to the channel, first time you're checking out, hit that subscribe, turn that notification on. That way you see every time that I go live, a new video's up, or whatever update is coming out and what is going on. Hopefully, everybody's having a lovely day and a weekend, all that good stuff. So, we are going to talk about this update that has been going on since yesterday. So we will get started in a few. What's going on? For sure, restore the Snyderverse. We're just waiting as usual for these notifications to go out and all that good stuff. So once that happens, then we'll get into it right now. But we really have to talk about this honestly. This is a very interesting. Things are changing. Things are shifting for the good. It's slowly coming into effect, and behind closed doors, things are happening. For sure, there's a shakeup going on right now. So, like I said, this is going to be a fun, interesting topic. So make sure to drop your comments, and I'll be going through and reading them as we just talk and pretty much just speculate if you want to say. But I think it's pretty obvious. The signs are already there. Things are starting to line up, and with that coming on board, I'm excited. Like anybody can tell me otherwise, but the Snyderverse is making a comeback. Say what you want, but the facts and the evidence, the proof, everything is right there before us. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so we already saw this picture. If you haven't seen it, this was on Vero. Vero is just like another social media platform. Zack posted this picture. He shared it. Um, Batsquez, he's a cosplayer. He goes really hard for restore the Snyderverse and stuff. So he does real good work with his cosplays and stuff. A lot better than what James Gunn is doing with his shitty universe. And it's awesome to see how the support is still here and people still want more of Ben Affleck as Batman, Zack Snyder with the Snyderverse, Henry Cavill as Superman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and it continues. This is a topic that will forever continue to be talked about while we are here still seeing with everything that's going on with DC and everything that's happening with them and stuff like that. So like I just posted a video. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out when you can. This is interesting. So much that we can just pull and just like talk and speculate from this picture, and seeing the first thing that I see, once you read it, fitting to see Richard Citron's beautiful wedding. So apparently he's getting married, and congrats to him and stuff. So if you don't know, Richard is the stunt double for Ben Affleck's Batman, and Batman versus Superman, and what we got with Justice League, and what we got also with David Ayer. So he's the one that puts on the stunt double, and he does the things that are pretty high risk, if you want to say, when it comes to these productions and stuff. Every movie has it. They tend to have like one or two doubles for the main actor, just because safety concerns, and they're willing to go the extra mile, and they get paid extra as stunts, because they're the ones that they risk you know getting injured on these sets and things like that. So it's awesome to see that Zach shared this picture. And when you see it, like I have somebody that actually posted a comment on the video that I just put. And it's interesting because I didn't even catch on to that. Shout out to you. I can't remember right now who it was. But it's pretty cool to see that when you look at the picture, let me zoom it in so y'all can see a little bit more. So fitting to see at Richard's beautiful wedding, right? Just the word fitting. Is he doing a test fit? Has he already got the measurements for the costume of Batman? Are we getting hints that Zach is telling us, hey, with this picture, again, we're just speculating, you know, a beautiful sunrise, a new beginning, something fresh, a new day, a new take, whatever you want to call it, just something beautiful that's coming down the road. And we already know that when Zach posts a picture, he doesn't just post it for the fun of it. He actually posts pictures with a meaning. And this right here, there's so many meanings behind it. It's just awesome. Just first you see this is clearly Ben Affleck's Batman. That's it. Like look at that cow. Look at that cow. Look at the back of that neck. That's Ben Affleck's cow right there. And this is the stunt. He's a stunt double. So you see the cape and the cow right there, and it's beautiful. And then, of course, you have that beautiful sunrise. It's like early in the morning, symbolically saying, hey, like this is a fresh take, and the beginning to something. Like when the sun comes up is a new day. So it's just so much that we could speculate from this, honestly. But just focusing on the part of where, you know right here, this keyword right here, fitting. Did he already test fit the costume, ready to go? A new beginning with the sunrise, and of course we get Ben Affleck's Batman, right here in this image. I'm telling you, people. I'm telling you honestly. This is a fact right here. The Snyderverse is getting restored. There's no and, ifs, or buts. It's happening. It's happening, honestly. And like, I'm excited. I'm excited. I know there's a lot of people that want this, and we're completely, you know, we're just ready for it. Honestly, there's a lot of things that are happening. There's a shakeup. There's a shakeup going on. um, well, look, I'm reading the comments as we go, so let me just post that up. All right, I don't want a Dark Knight Returns film. We already have that. Okay, th- th- I get that. All right, but when you look at it, at least from Zack's point of view, this would be a great comeback. And this all falls still within the Snyderverse. And I'll get into that right now. All right. So let's see this other comment. In another post on Vero, there exists a photo of Batman the Nightmare black and white, and Zack says, stay tuned for a date for Zack Snyder's Justice League on the big screen. What happened with that, by the way? Still waiting. All right. That's what I'm saying. There's shakeups going on right now. Like this whole thing with Matt Reeves and the Batman getting delayed, that's not just because it's happening. There's something going on. And you have to remember the same thing happened during the Snyder Cut. When we were fighting for the Snyder Cut, a lot of people were saying, oh, I thought you guys were going to get it and this and that and blah, blah. And it took us 5 years, but we finally got it, right? So that's all that matters. The same thing with this. All right. We did get a part when it comes to the big screen, but we already saw that that's what happened with that event that just happened with Rebel Moon, that they screened Rebel Moon 1 and 2, and they also played Zack Snyder's Justice League in that one theater in LA. So I spoke about that also. I mean, it's something. I get it. It's not a full theatrical release, but can it still happen? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, it could still happen. Like, don't doubt. It could still happen, and it's going to happen. It's just you have to let all this madness that's going on right now, fully be cleansed, if you want to say, because look at what they're doing to Matt Reeves. Like, apparently, there's a rumor out there, um, that it looks like Matt Reeves is stepping down. Like I told you guys the other day, I said it as a joke. I was like, look at what somebody, like took it and they made a joke. Sometimes these jokes do happen, and apparently, there's a rumor that's going around that it might happen, that he might be stepping down because he's going through family issues and, personal problems and stuff like that. So I don't really know the specifics and stuff, but don't be surprised if it does happen. It's going to happen. It's just in due time. I want restore the Snyderverse. Yes, we all want that. We all want that. We're gonna get it. It's just we have to keep on being patient. It's not gonna happen overnight. And you have to remember, if you have another studio coming on board, and who knows what the talks are. Most of the time, is always about money. And I'm sure right now, WB, the last thing they want to talk about is spending more money. This company doesn't want to spend any more money. They've spent way too much, just way too much money, honestly. With everything that they did in 2023 and the movie we got in 2024 with Joker 2, I mean, it's literally costed them so much money, and the studio can't afford it anymore. So, them doing some type of business or something with Comcast that comes into play next year in January, it's a good sign. We already know that Comcast is serious when it comes to about making money. And in the end, it's always about money. It's just the fact is that it's about money. We as the consumer have to pay if we want to see content. That's a fact. Studios need to make money because they have to pay cast, they have to pay production, they have to have a budget and meet, those numbers and stuff. So it's understandable. Everything in the end is about money. So they're probably working on negotiations right now and schedules, because again, it's not going to happen overnight. You can't just tell an actor or an actress, hey, we're going to start filming in a month. I mean, these people are already committed to other projects and stuff, so they have to see the time frame and what their availability is and stuff like that. But there's no doubt in my mind, not one doubt, that we are going to get the Snyderverse restored. As much as you get people saying, "Oh, it's not going to happen, move on," those are just people that are negative. They don't want to see the positive, and most of them are still bitter and salty, and they're coping that we actually got the Snyder cut. So it's obvious that they're still, bothered by that. It's like, "Oh, how did they get that?" Huh? Yeah, exactly, because we have that strong following. And in the end, the studio knows it. These executives know it, and the actors and the actresses, they're aware of it. They know what we want. The directors, the producers, they know what's up. So in due time we're gonna get it. There's no doubt about it and stuff like that. So all right, so look, if you're gonna come out here and troll, I'm telling you right now, you're just gonna get deleted. Honestly, like I'm banning. Like I don't have time anymore for all these trolls. I just blocked one right now. I've blocked him several times. He keeps on creating fake accounts just to come here and vent. So again, we're not about that right now. I'm cracking down on all that. You're gonna come here and troll, and you're gonna come here and talk smack. You're getting banned. I'm not even giving you like a second chance automatically. So whoever's watching, you're gonna troll, just be warned that I'm telling you right now, you're gonna get blocked straight up. I'm not playing no more. And even if you come back with a fake account, I'm still gonna block that one too. So play with me, try me. All right. We just focus on what we want to talk about. If you don't like it, write out. You don't have to be watching. Honestly, you're not forced to be watching. Same way I don't go and like I'm not forced to go watch anything from James Gunn. Period. Just accept the fact. You guys are not winning. We are, and that's the reality. So just seeing this picture right here again, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Um, when, we don't know, but we know it's happening. There's a shakeup going on. It's not coincidence that all of a sudden now they're pushing Matt Reeves Batman. From, it was supposed to be this year, and then now they're pushing it to, no, what is it, for next year, and then they're delaying it to 2027. I mean, it's a mess right now. It's a mess. Ever since James Gunn came on board, things have just keep getting, they just keep on getting sloppier and messier. Like there's no where do you start. It's like, have you ever been somewhere you're like, what a mess? Like I don't even know where to start. That's exactly how WB is right now. And the studio and the executives know it. Like this is why they're probably nervous and they're worried, because they know that Superman's not going to make the numbers that they want. And we're already aware. We know that within what, the next two weeks or so, probably less, they're gonna start filming, what is it, Supergirl, and we already know that Jason Momoa is going to be playing Lobo. I mean, don't be surprised. They can go ahead and film it right now. They can go ahead and make that movie, do everything, and come 2026, if Comcast is not happy and WB is not happy, they can go ahead and do to Supergirl and Lobo the same treatment that they gave Batgirl. They can go ahead and cancel it, do a tax write-off, especially if they do it in early January, because of course it's tax season. See what I'm saying? So don't be surprised if that does happen, especially once we see this summer how poorly Superman from James Gunn is going to be at the box office. Once those numbers don't perform the way that they want to, they're gonna have to just cancel it, and they're gonna have to say, you know what, this is not working. It's not. I mean, let's be real. Why would anybody move forward as a company with somebody like James Gunn, that all he's been doing is costing the studio money back to back? Why would you literally keep on investing and spending money on something that it isn't working? And when it comes to this right here, that's exactly what's been happening. You can't have what James Gunn is doing because it's not working. People are not interested and people are not watching. Not enough people. That's the difference. See what I'm saying? Most of the people are just tired of what's been going on. They're just, it's just they're exhausted. You can't, support one side because you get, like this crowd coming at you. You can't the other one because the other one, it's just right now difficult. And this is what James Gunn has caused. I don't care what you tell me. James Gunn has caused most of the fans in this fandom, within DC, to be the way it is right now, you know? And again, he should have brought in, if he wants to do that Marvel formula, just do what they did at Deadpool. I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine. What you could have done? You got the multiverse already going. You have all these Batman actors that are still around. I mean, bring them in, use them. I mean, you guys are just sitting on gold and you don't even utilize it. But yet you introduced and opened the door to the multiverse and the Flash. See what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. You could be pleasing everybody, and in the end, everybody could be winning. The fans could be winning. Their numbers at the box office could be winning. The studio itself could be winning because now everybody's gonna be like, "Oh wow, have you been seeing?" And but again, they don't know. James Gunn doesn't know what he's doing. Like, and so what? So what that he did with Guardians of the Galaxy? What he did, that doesn't mean anything. He had Marvel and he had Disney backing him up. So obviously they're gonna push it and promote it so they can get the money back. You don't see that happening here at WB. And then again, WB doesn't even have that type of money anymore because all they've been doing is just wasting that money when it comes to, all these projects within the quote unquote DCU. They started off a reboot of their new universe, right? With James Gunn, and it kicks off with cartoons. With cartoons. How shittier can it get? That doesn't If that doesn't speak shitty to you, I don't know what will, honestly, because that right there is sad. How do you start a new universe with cartoons? That, as a fan, I take that as an insult. I'm like, damn, you guys are doing that bad that you got to kick off your universe with a cartoon. You see, like that, it just doesn't look professional. It doesn't. And then you see James Gunn backing and always, backtracking, saying, "Oh, but it doesn't start with this. Oh, but this." There's always a but with him. There's always a but with James Gunn. Oh, but this doesn't determine, and he always comes out with a lie. But we already know that with Zack Snyder and everything that he puts out is always quality. That's why I know that in due time we are going to get the Air cut and we're going to get Ben Affleck's Batman standalone feature film. Because we already know that Zack is down to do it. We know Ben Affleck is down to do it. Both of them are ready. Both of them. And if they already got the call, let's just say that it's not WB, but it's instead now Comcast, because of course Comcast is coming into play next year. That's already confirmed. WB announced that recently. I made a video of that. Go check out my videos if you haven't seen it. Google it, do a search, do your search, and you will see. Why would that be happening? This is why another reason. I look, nothing against nobody, but I'm gonna tell you straight up. This is why I don't talk about the sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix and all these other hashtags. Hear me out. It's not that I'm against it. No, it's just why? Put yourself in the position of a business owner, right? You own a company. Your company's going down. Why would you sell it to one of your competitors that has a streaming service and you have a streaming service? It doesn't make sense, right? So, what do you need to survive and to stay afloat? You need money. So, if you have a company approach you and say, "Hey, look, let's do some type of network where we both can eat off of the same IPs. I get it, it's yours, but I want to back you up financially because I can see that you guys are doing bad. The numbers of stocks, your sales, everything is poor right now. Your performance is not delivering. We want to help out. Okay, what's the plan? Well, we want to do this and we want to do that, but we want to fund these projects. But we want to put them on top since you already have the connection to the movie industry. We make profits together from there. But we also want to put exclusive content, quote unquote, in parentheses, Zack Snyder and David Ayer, the DCEU, for alternative shows so we can both benefit from it and make money together. That's going to bring in subscribers, it's going to bring in more revenue. It's just going to completely put us out there as a business even more than what we are. You, as the business owner, right? You own this company, it's sinking. You don't want to sell it, but at the same time, you don't want to sell your IPs that would fall under selling Batman, sell Wonder Woman, sell Superman, sell all these IPs to another studio, your competitor. Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense, right? You're trying to make money and keep money. You're not trying to lose money. You've already lost money trying to do it on your own. Now you have this other company approach you and tell you, hey, we want to back you up because we believe in your IPs and we want to give you money, but we also want to make a percentage because that's how business runs. And then what happens? Boom, you start doing your changes because you're going to start seeing what's bringing you money and what's not, what's costed you money and what's making you profit. And for the past 2 years, going to the third year would be this year, what has James Gunn done to this company of WB with the brand of DC? Excuse me. All he's been doing is costing the studio more and more money. It doesn't make sense. Why would they want to renew their contract when his contract is due next year? It makes no sense. Excuse me. You want somebody that's going to make you profits. You want somebody that knows what they're doing. You want somebody with a plan. You know who that somebody was at WB with the DC brand that had a plan, but the studio kept on getting in the way and screwing the plans up? Yeah, that's right. Zack Snyder, David Ayer, Patty Jenkins, and James Wan. All four of them had the vision. Four different directors. But the studio kept on getting in the way and screwing things up. You see the difference. The first films that they all put out made profit. Say what you want. They all made profit with Zack. Without Zack Snyder and what we've seen already, it didn't work. So why would you want to continue with a universe that's not bringing you money? It makes no sense. You want to move forward with something, someone, and a team and leadership that knows where they're going. To everybody that continues to say Rebel Moon wasn't a success, you know what? Keep coping. And I'll tell you why. You know why? Because facts are coming your way. You're like a vampire. You don't like the light, right? You don't like the facts either, but I'm about to spit them to you. The facts are the following. We got, we, the fans, the consumer. If you, the one that's listening right now, use the hashtag of release the Snyder Cut and you fought during those 5 years, congratulate yourself because you're the reason why we got the Snyder Cut today. And the same thing, we have Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2. A lot of fans were like, oh, but that's not the real vision and this is not the one that we wanted. Okay, Zack heard your complaint. He heard your cries. The studio heard your cries. You're not satisfied? We got you. We got you. We're going to first release the PG-13. And then on top of that, for all those crybabies that, oh, it's not hardcore enough, we got the rated R just for you. So therefore, we got another Snyder Cut. We got the Snyder Cut with Zack Snyder's Justice League because that's the R-rated version. All right. We got the Snyder Cut with Rebel Moon 1 and 2. All right. With Rebel Moon. That's the Snyder Cut of Rebel Moon. You have two Snyder Cuts, one at DC and one at Rebel Moon with Netflix. So how is Zack Snyder not winning? Accept the fact and cope. Deal with it. You just can't deal that we are winning and you cannot stop us. Again, our motto, we will stop at nothing. That's what true fans do. We come together and when we unite, there's no stopping us. And that's what the studio fears. That's what James Gunn fears. And most of all, that's what all these sick James Gunn fans fear. They know that it's going to get restored. This is why they're coming out of the woods and constantly saying all their evil, corrupt sayings because they know these are people that have no faith. These are people that have no hope. And most of them, majority of them, they're all bitter. They're bitter. They're still crying that after all these years, we, you, the one that's listening, the customer, the fan, the one that has the money in your wallet, you made it possible for the Snyder Cut to be released. And the same way that we fought and we did it and we pulled through together with all these bozos making fun of us, mocking us with memes left and right on a daily basis for 5 long years, what do we have now? Silence. You know why? Because we have that gem called the Snyder Cut, also known as Zack Snyder's Justice League. And just like that, we are also going to get Zack Snyder's The Dark Knight Returns. These are facts, people. These are facts. This picture right here is not for the fun of it. Zack is not just putting this picture because, hey, you know what? It looks nice and hey, look, it's a cosplay of Batman. No. Real Zack Snyder fans know what's up. We know what's up. When Zack speaks to us, he's talking to us in code. This right here is the solid proof. James Gunn fans won't understand that. Generic people won't understand that. Unless you're a hardcore Zack Snyder fan, you already know that Zack is the man with the plan. Zack is the blueprint. Why everybody in the industry loves to copy Zack Snyder. And then they admit it. Yeah, like I saw Man of Steel and it inspired me. So I wanted to do something, to like kind of be like it and stuff like that. Even James Gunn has come out and said it. He's like, yeah, I took elements from Man of Steel. Again, Zack Snyder's the blueprint. Marvel is copying it. Sony is copying everybody. But then they don't want to give credit to this dude, right? They don't want to give credit to this director. And then at the same time, they love to label us. But again, joke's on them because look, we are going to get it. All right. Keywords fitting. All right. Did he already get a test fit for this suit? The background, a sunrise, a new beginning, a new start. See what I'm saying? Ben Affleck's Batman. That's just not Robert Pattinson's cow. That's Batfleck right there. Anybody that says that that's not Batfleck, you are the delusional one. You're living under a rock. That right there, look, short ears, that's Ben Affleck. Of course, this is the stunt double because, of course, that's Richard. But the point is that Zack is talking to us and he's letting us know, hey, something is cooking. Something is cooking behind closed doors. This is why I'm telling you, once all of this shakeup is done, this year we're going to be hearing a lot of updates. We are going to hear a lot of updates. Look, from yesterday to today, this came out. What does that tell you? There's something happening. But I'm sure that Zack and David Ayer have also signed NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. If you don't know how that works, very simple. If you and somebody made a deal, right? You're like, hey, look, these are the terms and conditions, but you can't say nothing until this date. All right, you have to keep your mouth closed and you can't say nothing. This is why when Tom Holland goes and they're talking about on interviews and he's like, oh, I probably leaked, the movie and this and that, because they're breaking the non-disclosure agreements. They can't talk about it. They can't give you details. That's why Andrew Garfield couldn't confirm and say, oh yeah, I'm coming back as Spider-Man in No Way Home. Because again, there's legal issues. They can't break that contract. If not, they get sued or they get fined, whatever it is on the contract. That's what happens. And the same thing is with this. Zack can't tell us, hey, look, I'm back and we're gonna be working on this, but he's talking to us in code. We already know. When we got the Snyder cut, y'all remember that picture? The one that you see, with the flag of Justice League and all that stuff is black and white. And we got it. And we got it. That's the same thing with this. It's coming. It's going to happen, people. Zack Snyder's The Dark Knight Returns will be out soon. And I'm telling you, at the rate that WB is right now, everything is literally on top. All the weight of WB, all the studio, all the executives, all the stock investors, all the fans, all the money is right now on James Gunn's shoulders. You imagine the pressure that he has right now? He has to deliver. And we already know that he's not going to deliver. The big L is coming. They've already gone through so many L's in 2023, 2024. For crying out loud, the Joker 2. With Joker 2, the first movie made $1 billion. The second one, wow, it went straight to streaming less than a month. And don't think that James Gunn's Superman isn't going to go straight to streaming in less than a month. It might go less than an actual month because a lot of people are done. You know how many people are seeing on the comments talking about that now? Oh, I'm just going to wait for it on streaming because I'm not going to waste my time or my money going to the theaters for that. It tells you people just don't care anymore. So therefore, what's that? It's speaking. It's telling you all these investors must be right now panicking. They're all nervous, We're going to get this very soon. So what happens if we do get, Zack Snyder's The Dark Knight Returns with Ben Affleck is ready. The possibilities are endless because now they could release the air cut. Because remember, there's footage on the air cut with Ben Affleck that didn't make it to the final cut. It's still sitting there in a vault in the studio. What else can come from this? Of course, we can get with Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 with the Nightmare timeline. What else? We can finally get Ben Affleck's Batman versus Deathstroke, the movie that we've all been waiting for as DC fans. And this right here, I'm guaranteeing you. So if WB or anybody that's on WB or anybody has a plug to WB, listen to this. You want to make $1 billion with your Batman franchise? You don't know how to do it with Ben Affleck without Zack Snyder. You need Zack Snyder. Let him do his thing. Don't interfere. Let Zack fully cook the same way that he's doing at Netflix. And I guarantee you that you will make over $1 billion with Ben Affleck and his standalone film along with Zack Snyder, directed by Zack Snyder. You won't never know that success until you actually have the balls to do it. All you need to do is make it happen. That's it. That's how easy it is. The solution to your problem is there. We already know that with James Gunn's Batman, it's not going to work. His Superman is a joke. And then you're seeing that on Creature Commandos, that little cameo, it's still not saving your stocks. It's not saving your company. Not enough people are talking about it. They're all speculating. We've already seen what Ben Affleck did in Batman versus Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Hell, just the little cameo that he did in Suicide Squad with David Ayer. We are ready for that. We've been ready. The only ones that are holding back and delaying it is you, WB, you and your executives with your piss poor direction and don't have no clue where you're going. Let Zack Snyder fully cook the way that he's doing at Netflix. This is why Netflix gives him money and whatever he needs, and they don't mess with him. And in the end, look at what you got. You got double the profits. Why? Because you have Rebel Moon, PG-13, for those people that love PG-13. And then you have the rated R, also known as Rebel Moon's Snyder Cut, rated R. So boom, you get to eat double. And it's on their streaming service. Imagine what you could do on your streaming service, WB. You imagine the profits that you can make off of all this? You could do a Ben Affleck's standalone featured film, right? Batman versus Deathstroke, The Dark Knight Returns, whatever you want to call it. You have Zack Snyder. Let Zack guide and direct everything that he wants to do, how he needs to do it. And I'm guarantee you is going to work. You just don't know because you have always, since the beginning of Batman versus Superman, have gotten in the way. If WB, you just stepped aside and say, you know what? We're going to step aside. We're going to let Zack do everything he wants. Batman versus Superman was supposed to be rated R. And what did you do, studio? That's a no-no. We can't put that in the theatrical release, right? And look at the difference. Look at your sales. Your sales on DVD and what is it, Blu-ray, outperformed what you tried to do at the box office. You should have just let Zack fully cook from the beginning. You should have let your whole DCEU be rated R because that's what people wanted, and they still want that. You know who wants this whole cheerful, colorful, brightful, happy DCU? All the sickos that support James Gunn. Do they come to theaters and sell out your theaters? No. Do they buy your merchandise? No. It sits in overstock and then it goes to third parties. And in the end, when it doesn't sell, all of that gets thrown to the dumpster. And then they do a tax write-off and they destroy all those products because they don't even sell in the clearance rack. That tells you everything. How come I've never seen anything from Zack Snyder's Justice League? Anything from merchandise, shirts, shoes, toys, everything. The movies, posters. I don't ever see that on clearance. And the moment it goes up, we just saw recently what McFarlane Toys did. The pre-orders for Batman versus Superman, right? For a quote-unquote dead universe, everything sold out, right? because it sells. There's no money with anything without Zack Snyder. This is why Netflix continues to win. This is why they want him. They're making money. WB, you wanted to get away from Zack Snyder? Look at how much it's costed you. It's literally costed you everything. Everything. But then again, you don't want to listen to us, right? Because we don't know what we're talking about, right? We're the delusional ones. We're the customer, we're the fan, but we know what we want, right? It doesn't work like that. When a studio doesn't care about their fans, the fans should not care about the studio either. Honestly, look at what's going on with Disney right now. That's what happens. Look at what's going on with Paramount and Sonic 3. Crushing it. They're crushing it. They're winning. Winning. Massive win. Sonic 3 is outperforming Disney with Mufasa. Amazing. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But then here you have Disney trying to, block Sonic so they don't play in every theater. But the fans are still out there watching it and rewatching it and rewatching it. You know what I'm going to be watching this summer? It's not going to be James Gunn's Superman. And just like that, a lot of fans are not going to be watching it. And what happens? Your sales are going to go down. Your ticket sales are not going to move. Those seats are going to be emptier than what we saw at Joker 2. That's what's coming. Some of you can't accept the big L that's already there. It's been happening in 2023. It increased in 2024. And this year, this is the last straw. I'm telling you, this is why you see James Gunn is nervous and he's trying to rush everything within his universe because it doesn't sell. Like the hashtag is out there right now, along with wallets closed, no Snyderverse, no money. That's it. I've been telling y'all for a while. If you don't give us the Snyderverse, I'm not giving you money. Plain and simple. That's it. WB, you need to restore the Snyderverse seriously. You need to release the air cut. And most of all, you need to fire James Gunn. James Gunn has been costing you way too much money. Way too much money. He hasn't been delivering. And you continue to invest in this bozo, in this liar, that all he does is completely have no sense of direction. We're going to get the DCEU back. We're going to get it stronger and better than what it was before. To everybody that continues to say it's not going to happen, it's the same thing you said when we weren't going to get the Snyder Cut. How many didn't say, including blue check marks, official accounts that had millions of followers, oh, you should move on. It's not going to happen. You'll never get your Snyder Cut. Ha 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 ha. Oh, let's see how that aged. What do we have now? Oh, that's right. We have the physical copies, right, in 4K of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And everything that you said that wasn't going to happen, what happened? It proved you wrong. And we have it. So there's no stopping us. The Snyderverse shall be restored. It's going to happen. It's just going to take some time. James Gunn's DCU is not working. It will never work, and it has never gotten off the ground. They're not building any foundation. They're literally building a house on water. There's no foundation. Zack Snyder had a foundation. Zack Snyder had a plan. Zack Snyder knew what he was doing. David Ayer knew what he was doing. James Wan knew what he was doing. And Patty Jenkins knew what she was doing. And they were all in conjunction. They were all working together. It was all a connected universe. It was different. It was original. It was modern. And it was going to age like fine wine. Look at all those films that they did, the first ones. How have they aged? Amazing. Aquaman just came out, within the past year? About more or less. Look at how that's aged. Bad. Shazam 2, that's age cringe. The first Shazam, you see what I'm saying? Blue Beetle, The Flash, don't get me started with The Flush. Terrible. That's what happens when you do with Zack Snyder and without Zack Snyder. All right, look, I'm gonna go to the comments again. You trolls want to keep on talking? I'm banning y'all. No more playing. That's it. Keep talking smack. I'm banning y'all. Honestly, not playing these games anymore. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Honestly. All right. All right. Let me go up and read some of the comments and stuff. So drop your comments so I can read as we go along. And it's funny because some of these people I get that I block, they go and create another fake account just to come here and keep on talking smack. I'm gonna block that one too. Play with me. Play with me. Try me. Try me. All right, let's see right here. All right, all we want to see is Zack Snyder's Justice League with Green Lantern ending, and who knows, maybe exists more details and chances on this cut. Yeah, that's for sure. There's a lot more things that are out there and that Zack wanted to do and stuff like that. So that'll be pretty dope to see and stuff. All right, so is this will the Dark Knight Returns movie be Batman versus Deathstroke movie? We don't know. We don't know. We're just speculating. Honestly, it could be. I mean, only Zack knows what he has planned out. Honestly, what matters is that we get it back. From there, let him do what he wants to do, and from there we're just gonna take off and stuff like that. What up, Sean? Appreciate you for watching. All right. Let me see this one. Saw Creature Commandos was number 2 on Max Worldwide. Might be number 1 with the season finale. But look, all right, let's spit facts. All right, I get it. Creature Commandos on on their streaming service, Max, it was number 1. It's probably number 2 now. Who cares? The point is, there's nothing else to watch. The same thing like when they put out The Penguin, there was nothing else to watch. There was no Game of Thrones. There was no Marvel movies. There was nothing. So it's obvious that people are bored and they're going to watch it. And then here's where all these fake fans come. It's the number 1 movie. It's the number 1 on their platform. You said it, on their platform. That's it. Okay, yay. No biggie. What about it? What about it? When Rebel Moon was out, yes, it was in the number 1, but it was the number 1 in the world. That's the difference. It was number 1 in China, in Japan, in Thailand, in Australia, in wherever, the US, in South America. It was the number 1. That's the difference. I'm tired of these shitty excuses of these James Gunn cultists always trying to say, well, it was a failure. It was a failure. You mean the opposite. It was a massive success because Rebel Moon was number 1 for weeks around the planet, around the world, around everywhere. That is a fact right there. Deal with it. Accept it. You cannot stop Zack Snyder. You cannot stop us, the fans. And we will stop at nothing, damn it. There's no stopping us. That's what triggers you. Zack Snyder sells. James Gunn doesn't. Walter Hamada doesn't. It's just been flopping, and it continues to flop. It's about to enter bankruptcy. That's how bad it is. That tells you everything. See what I'm saying? That's the difference. Let's see the Zack Snyder Justice League max stream numbers. Oh yeah, they will never release that because they know how royally they screwed up. That's true. Exactly. They don't have the face. WB doesn't have the face to confront us, the customer, the loyal customer. I'm telling you. I'm telling you honestly. It is what it is. I appreciate you, see, as the director. My only critique of Zack Snyder is recent the screenplay for Rebel Moon. I think he should hire Chris Terrio, The Dark Knight, and David Goyer, Man of Steel. I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not nobody to judge you on that. I mean, again, it's not for everybody. Rebel Moon isn't for everybody. I loved it. I love the PG-13 and I enjoy the rated R. See what I'm saying? So there's to please to both sides. Those fans that want the, clean version, if you want to say, the PG-13, and then there's the ones for the fans that want the hardcore, uncut, rated R. Boom. To each their own. Whichever one you enjoy, that's the one you want to go with. Enjoy. That's how I say, you know. All right, let's see. Long-term contracts on screenwriters for his production company, Stone Quarry. Then let them cook. He should focus exclusively on directing and screenplay writing. But then again, we have to see what was, like Netflix willing to spend. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you also have to understand, hey, look, I have this amount of money and the studio isn't going to give me more. So we have to make it work some way, somehow. Like I said, I enjoyed it for what it is. I mean, I really love Rebel Moon, I want more of it, and it's already confirmed. Rebel Moon 3 is in the works already. It's not gonna come out anytime soon, obviously, but it is going to be. Zach's already working on it, so it's just he's so busy right now. So it is what it is. But that's what we're getting and stuff like that. All right, so let me actually ban this one because again, the trolls are still trying to come out. All right. All right, so here we go. All right, Leroy, what up, Leroy? Appreciate you for watching. Hello, guys. So very sorry I'm late. You're here on time, no worries. We need more Zack Snyder DC. James Gunn already fails. Yep, we already know. For sure, for sure. I appreciate everybody for watching. We got about like 50 people we're watching right now. Probably the numbers are a little bit higher, but that's what it's showing me right now. But awesome, awesome. We got a full house today. Appreciate everybody that's watching all over wherever you are right now. So facts, facts, and facts. Appreciate that. I really appreciate that. That's what we do. We're here doing what we have to do. All right. The behavior of these James Gunn toxic fans turn me off. Wallets closed. Yes, wallets closed. Wallets closed, my friends. Wallets closed. Again, no Snyderverse, no money. Plain and simple. We can't be any more vocal than that, honestly. WB's probably watching us, hearing us. They already know what's coming. They know that big L is right around the corner. It's very fitting. We know what's up. Zack is the GOAT. Yep. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I get it. Not everybody's going to like what his work is and stuff like that. But, it's not for everybody. Let's be real. It's not for everybody. Some people are going to like it. Some people are not. But honestly, what Zack put out, it was just amazing. It's ahead of the time. It's aged like wine. And it just continues to get more and more juicier, if you want to say, because let's be real, Zack Snyder's Justice League broke records. And not only did it break records, because of course the studio's not going to tell you, hey, look, these are the numbers and stuff, because to this day, we still don't know the exact numbers. But it's funny, you know why? Because they didn't have the numbers for Zack Snyder's Justice League, but how come they had numbers for the Suicide Squad days after it came out? How come they had numbers for Godzilla versus Kong when it came out? How come they had numbers for those movies, huh? Coincidence? Hell no. Straight up. Hell no, it's not coincidence. They know exactly what they were doing. We knew what Toby Emmerich was doing. We knew what Walter Hamada was doing. And all these other little snakes that were crawling up in there. You know what's up. We know what's up. Honestly. Honestly. You know? Exactly. I agree with you on that. It's always darkest before the dawn. Yes. Yes. Things are going to change. Things are going to shift. And I'm ready. I am ready. I know a lot of y'all are ready also. Something is cooking. For sure. For sure. Something is cooking. Look, it's not a coincidence, my friends. It's just not a coincidence that you have Matt Reeves and all these years have passed. When did we get the Batman? Like in 2022? We're in 2025, right? So that's 22, 3, 4, 5. It's been 3 years. And now it's getting the delay to 2027. So we're in 5, 6, 7, another 2 years, 3 years. By the time this movie comes out, people are gonna lose interest. And I get it. I get it. Avatar took forever to be made. But again, we're talking about Disney. We're not talking about WB IP. And so what if it's Batman? Batman with Robert Pattinson couldn't get $1 billion like they thought they were going to get. They were like, oh no, let's not do Ben Affleck's movie, but let's go ahead and just do it with somebody new, right? And you thought that was going to work. And now you're trying to do the same thing with Superman and you think that's going to work? How many times, how many flops do you need to actually wake up and say, you know what? This isn't working. This isn't. And it's not. It's just completely. It just, who knows what is going on, honestly. All right. You're hoping that that DC fails. Look, man, a lot of people are feeling like that. So I completely understand that, So, it's just interesting to see that. Zack Snyder could assist Sony restore their Marvel IPs. Yeah, they could. They can call them up and say, hey, look, we want to do something. But again, if Sony doesn't make that move and like capitalize while they still can, I mean, they just keep on sinking. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult to do what Sony is doing right now. They already have all their established villains. All right, cool. You know what's the one thing that you need, Sony, just to fix your universe? It's just simple. It's very easy. It's called putting Spider-Man in your movies to face off his villains. That's it. That's how easy and simple that was. You see what I'm saying? Let's move along. It's just wild. Yes, we the fans have the power. Exactly. We the fans, everybody that's out there right now listening, the 61 people that are listening right now, because these numbers keep on going up and down. It's amazing. It's awesome. I want to thank each and every one of you. Wherever we are, it's up to us to tell a studio what we want. If we want this or we don't want that. Look at what happened with Sonic, the first Sonic movie. That terrible design that Paramount Pictures put out there, right? That was going to haunt them. And I guarantee you that would have been a massive flop and they wouldn't be at where they're at right now. But they've grown throughout the years, right? And look at how successful Sonic is right now. 3 films, amazing. A spin-off show on their streaming service. Incredible. Incredible. That right there, you have to give props to them because wow, like that's amazing, honestly. And even though it's Paramount Pictures, Paramount also owns the rights to Transformers. But what the hell has been going on? The same thing. After Michael Bay, they thought that they could do whatever they want, do another reboot, do another reboot. Oh, let's do everything with the cartoons. And it's not working. It hasn't worked. You need to bring back Michael Bay. Y'all were getting people in the theaters. And say what you want. Say what you want about Michael Bay. But the Transformers were in a better position when Michael Bay was there. So therefore, restore the Bayverse also. Straight up, honestly. All right. Great live. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. Let's see. All best for 2025. For sure, Jose. I appreciate that. The same for everybody. The best for 2025. Everyone, everywhere. That's all we're going with this year. Positive vibes and just stay chilling. And let's get what we got to get. Whatever we got to get and whatever we're after. And along with that, we as fans are here and we just want good quality. We want good entertainment. That's all. That's it. So studios, whichever studios out there, if you're listening, if you come across this, just give us good quality. What's so hard? What's so hard? Look at what they're doing with this new Spider-Man, with that Spider-Man cartoon. Do I need to say more about that? What they're doing with Norman Osborn? They completely keep on going down that woke route. Nobody cares about that. We just want good entertainment. When you put good entertainment, people are going to tune in. People are going to watch because that's what we want. We want good entertainment. We don't want you to tell us this and do that and blah, blah, blah. Nah, man, just give us good entertainment. That's it. Plain and simple, All right. Gunn is one trick pony and has trashed DC since he came on board. Yep, I said it. I called it. He was the Trojan horse. If you're not familiar with the Trojan horse story, go look it up. They even got a movie on that. I think it's called Troy. That's exactly what that is, honestly, But that's what they wanted. That's what WB wanted. You got it. You wanted the Marvel formula. Now you reap what you sow. You wanted that Marvel money, and you're still not getting that Marvel money. Oh, man. Charles, bong, bong. All right. You already know. Telling you, honestly, at the rate that we're going right now, this is going to be a walk in the park. And talking about park, let's not forget. Let's not forget what else is going to be out when Superman is coming. That's right, Jurassic Park Rebirth. So if Universal, you're out there listening, yo, hook your boy up. What's up? Sponsor me. Do something. Get what I'm saying? I'm giving you a free plug. I suggest everybody go out and watch Jurassic World Rebirth when it comes out in July. I'm not watching Superman, so I don't care about that. Honestly, I'm completely skipping that one. And I will be watching multiple times Jurassic Park Rebirth just because I'm a Jurassic Park fan. And of course, with everything to send a financial statement to WB. You don't give us the Snyderverse, I won't give you my money. Plain and simple. That's it. So restore the Snyderverse. If you don't do it, you're going to keep on losing out and missing out money. All right. I hope you're right, but I can't see Zaslav or Gunn allowing it. Fingers crossed. Okay, let's talk about this right quick, McRib. All right, let's look at this. First things first, your name cracks me up, McRib. All right. You can't see Zaslav or Gunn allowing this, and I agree with you. Zaslav is a moron. Let's be real. James Gunn is an idiot. Let's be honest. James Gunn has no clue where and what he's doing with his own universe. He's like that little kid you see in the playground with all his toys around him. He has his little bucket and you come up to him and be like, "Oh, can I help you build your little castle or whatever it is that you're doing? Can I play with your toys?" And he's like, "No, these are my toys. No, this is my bucket. No, this is all mine. This is all me, 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 and me." And you're gonna be like, "Well, whatever then." So you're gonna walk off, right? And then that little kid's still gonna be building in his imagination that he's building a big old medieval castle, with dragons and everything, and it's just amazing, right? But in reality, you're like, "Whoa, what a mess! That's terrible." Like just completely demolish it. That's who James Gunn is. David Zaslav. I was one of the many that were like, "All right, cool. Let's see. Hopefully, David Zaslav's gonna make change." I was wrong, honestly. James Gunn and David Zaslav, along with Peter Safran, are the worst thing to happen to WB with their DC brand. Completely. It's terrible. It's the worst. Hell, I would take Walter Hamada back instead of having James Gunn in charge. Honestly, that's how bad it is. I made a troll post about that not long ago. Both of them are bad, but damn, at the rate we're going, at least Walter Hamada was still trying to have Henry Cavill, Gal, and Ben. You get what I'm saying? But what James Gunn has done, he's like, nah, forget that completely. And we already saw what he did with The Flush. So why should I have sympathy and say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go watch Superman 2025"? Hell nah, I'm not gonna watch that. Not even if somebody buys me a ticket, I think I will watch it. I'll be like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I'll just throw it in the wind, honestly, because it just doesn't drag my attention. It really doesn't drag my attention. All right, Batman versus Superman was supposed to be rated R. Yeah, it was supposed to be rated R. That's why if you see, we have the theatrical version, and then we fought during that time again, and we got from the studio the ultimate cut. And if you look at the back of the box, even when it starts, it's rated R. So that was the original plan from the beginning. The DCEU was going to be dark because Zack had a plan. It was supposed to be a more serious, more, not realistic like Christopher Nolan, but it was going to be a lot more different than what the MCU was. If you notice the MCU, how it started, I mean, with Iron Man, the first one and the second one, they were more on that serious note. I mean, now it's become a full circus. You get what I'm saying? They were more, leading up to Endgame on that a little bit to the R rating, strong PG-13. So since the beginning, that's what happened with the studio, and that's where we are, where we're at right now, just because of that and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, it happens. These executives ruin our films. They need to let the directors do what they do. Great live, buddy. Appreciate that. Yes, for sure. That's the problem with these studios. These executives, half of the time, if not most of the time, they have no clue what's going on. They don't know how to turn on a camera. They don't know how to move a tripod. They don't even know probably how to open a tripod. If you've never opened a tripod, I'm going to tell you right now, that thing is a pain in the butt. And you'll be like, I have no patience for this, because it could be complicated. It's not rocket science, but it could be complicated. That's a tripod. You just pull the little legs out and you open it, and boom, you put your camera on. It could be tricky, but for the ones that don't know, of course, they have no idea. These executives, half of the time, they're just in Wall Street looking at the numbers. They don't know about what the fans want. They don't know what you and me want. They don't. They just clearly have no clue. They think that, hey, screw it. Let's just give them what we feel is best. And them doing that has costed them everything. Literally, this is why they're all in the dump. Look at where they're at. They want to make that Marvel money. They try to commercialize, literally, they try to commercialize. That's the right word, They try to commercialize what Zack Snyder created. When Zack put out Batman versus Superman, it had that dark tone. You're having Batman fight Superman for the first time. I remember when the theaters, honestly, it was nuts. Everybody was going wild when they saw Wonder Woman come into that scene. Everybody, like everybody was in shock. We're like, whoa, we're actually seeing this. And the way that she delivered, just that one scene with Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, that 5-minute scene, go rewatch it when you can. It's on YouTube, whatever. Just listen to the music when you hear Wonder Woman's song when she comes in. You're like, oh shit, it's about to get real. Like, oh shit, it makes you feel like you're part of that battle. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to go at it against Doomsday. The same thing when you see Superman, they just start going at it, punching them, and just, whoa, what the hell? Like, yo, like you start cheering them. And then you see Batman. I mean, Batman doesn't have any powers, but you see Batman with his Batwing, and he's like, "Oh shit, they're about to kill me." You get what I'm saying? Because you have Darkseid. I mean, not Darkseid. You have Doomsday that's literally about to shoot him with the beams, and then you see Wonder Woman just protects Batman with that shield, and it's like, "Oh, it just got real." You get what I'm saying? Like, I remember that. I can't forget that. It was off the hook, and you could see the executives. I don't know who they were, but these people were big in the theater. You had, look, I'm gonna tell you straight up, in my experience, when I went to go see that screening back when it came out, Batman versus Superman, you had WB executives or staff, whoever they were. These people were in suit and tie. All right, they had security going up and down. They wouldn't let nobody pull out their phone, and they told everybody, turn off your phones. Anybody turns on your phone, we're kicking you out. Nobody got kicked out because everybody was like, all right, they're not playing. There was this one lady, kind of looked like Amanda Waller, like that, up and down the aisles. She was making sure everything was running smooth, all the staff and everything, because they were taking it serious. They didn't want nothing to leak. That's why you didn't see any leaks of it. And now, fast forward the time, look at what happens with Black Adam. We already saw when Henry Cavill was back in that cameo because it leaked. That shows you that the studio doesn't care like they used to. In the beginning, WB cared and they were interested, and they even backed up Zack Snyder. They were all excited. We could see it at Comic Con, everybody and stuff like that. And what happened? Time has passed, and look at where they're at right now. Because again, they're only looking at the numbers. They're not looking at what we, the fans, are looking at. This is why you see the big increase, decrease, and increase. All right. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. When we saw all these movies, right, leading and seeing what happened with Justice League, with Joss Whedon, we already knew that was going to be bad. The moment they announced that Joss Whedon was coming on board, I was like, this literally has just become Marvel. That's it. You have a Marvel director inside of WB. And I was like, this is going to be bad. We just didn't know how bad it was going to be because we already knew what happened with Zack and, all that stuff. Right. So what happens? Justice League comes out. They made the numbers that they made. Still not bad, but they still made some money. Right. If they would have let Zack do his thing and whatever, then I'm sure the turnout would have been much different. Whatever. The point is that we just finished Justice League. And what happened after Justice League? We had Suicide Squad, right? Again, we had Studio Squad because, again, the studio got in the way and they turned David Ayer's movie into a joke. That's why David Ayer said it. He's like, they completely turned my movie into a comedy. So it's showing you the influence of Marvel / Disney at inside of WB. So what happens? Instead of these movies being quality that they were supposed to be, they became the shit fest that it's already is because the studio did that, not the fans. The studio did that. If they would have let David Ayer put out his R-rated Suicide Squad, because it was supposed to be R-rated. Remember, that's why we got also the extended cut that's rated R. If you go look at it right now, it'll tell you in the back of the box it's rated R. Even when you start the movie, it tells you the movie's rated R stuff. Big difference. Studio Squad to Suicide Squad. And then, of course, we're still fighting for David Ayer's true vision of the Ayer cut, which that one's R-rated and supposed to have a lot more stuff and things like that. So what happens after Suicide Squad? Time passed, probably like 2 or 3 months, and then it leads us into Aquaman, the first Aquaman movie. So everybody's excited because everybody's hungry. Because at that time, Marvel's already pushing it. They're crushing it. They're putting movies back to back with the MCU. Everybody's like MCU, MCU, MCU. So what happens? We get Aquaman. And I think it released sometime I think it was during Christmas or something of the time when it got released. And look at the turnout that it got. Why? Because people were still hungry. James Wan was consulting and he was still going off of the original storyboards from what Zack Snyder had created. They were talking behind doors, and even he said it. Yeah, like I consulted Zack Snyder, and he did his thing, but he probably showed the same thing like James Gunn. Hey, here's some notes. Use them if you want. And we've seen the effect of that. But then you see that James Wan considered, Zack, and the same thing with Patty Jenkins with the first Wonder Woman. That's why you see the first movies are awesome because they consulted and they included Zack. Hey, what do you think of this? oh, we should do this, we should take that out. Who knows what the conversation is? I'm just speculating. I'm just telling you, as a director, if somebody was to approach me, I'll be like, hey, look, these are my tips. I suggest this, or probably you want to go with this or whatever, so it could help whatever it is that you're trying to put out there. So what happens? Aquaman makes $1 billion, and it's still part of the Snyderverse. Say what you want, because it's still within what Zack Snyder had. The only thing is that James Wan, he put his own touch to it, and that's okay because these directors are supposed to do that. Now, what happens the moment Aquaman is about to be done theatrically? Remember, this is where that merger transitioning is happening. Now we have, from Walter Hamada, it's starting to fade away and it's starting to go into what James Gunn is coming in. And that's when that whole shakeup was fully coming on. Remember? And then that's when we got the remaining films of the Hamada verse, which fall under Shazam, the first one. And notice how the first Shazam still has not cameos. It still has Easter eggs connected to Batman versus Superman, the Batarang, something with Superman. I can't remember right now. I think there's like a poster, something with Flash and Aquaman in the background. So it's still letting you know that this is the Batman and Superman, Wonder Woman of this current timeline. All right. And now we're already entered the full effect of Walter Hamada, known as the Hamada verse, because now we got, what is it? Shazam, the first movie, and we have, what do you have? Black Adam, and Black Adam was a big difference. Say what you want, but I, as a fan, I respect for what Dwayne the Rock Johnson did. He brought Henry Cavill. Who knows who and what he had to go through to make that happen? Okay, The Rock has an ego. Who doesn't? Everybody in Hollywood does. Men and women, everybody. They all have egos. That's what they do. That's what people do with money. They're rich. Of course, they're going to have egos. So what happens? He brought in Henry Cavill. And I, as a fan, I'm thankful. I'm grateful for that because even he's acknowledging, hey, this is the Superman that the fans want. Let's not go with another person. This is the Superman. This is the proper one. Eventually, he's going to have to face off Black Adam. And eventually, like in the comics, he's going to have to face off Shazam. And we were going to get that. But then what happened? That whole full shakeup. Because remember, now in Black Adam, who do you get? Oh, that's right. You get James Gunn's wife, that she makes a cameo. So what happens now? Not only that, now we're fully entering what James Gunn and his regime and David Zaslav and Peter Safran, because now Peter Safran with his studios, whatever it's called, Safran Studios, I think, or something like that. Now they're coming into play and they're taking over Shazam 2, Blue Beetle, Aquaman, I think, or something like that. Remember, I get it. James Gunn didn't direct none of these movies, but now James Gunn is appointed and he's the head of DC Studios. So if you have the head of DC Studios allowing all these movies, including The Flash, because remember, what didn't The Flash go through? That movie was delayed. Black Adam was delayed. I mean, not delayed. It was they had 10 years they were working on it. All right. And we got what we got. That's cool. I'm happy with that. But what happens with the Flash? The Flash got delayed multiple times. You all remember that. That movie got delayed. So what happened? In the end, look at what we got. Why? Because remember, James Gunn has said it. He gave notes to all of these directors. He gave notes to Andy Muschietti for The Flush, and we got what we got. He gave notes to the director of Shazam that did Shazam 2. And look at how bad that did. That did worse. Like it just kept going down and down and down. It just completely ridiculous. And then Blue Beetle, remember, Blue Beetle was supposed to be from James Gunn, not directed. It wasn't directed by him, but it was being overseen because James Gunn came out multiple times and said, hey, Blue Beetle's the one that's going to kick off our first character within the DCU. Hold on. And then he already brought in the Suicide Squad, which was Peacemaker. So, of course, all of that completely tanked at the box office. And there's no excuses. It just flopped, period. And then it brings us to the last movie of quote unquote the last DCEU, which was Aquaman 2. And to this day, I still haven't even seen it. Nor do I plan, because I know that that's the effect of Peter Safran, James Gunn, and everything that he's trying to do. You know, and it's like, I'm just not interested. Even James Wan came out. He's like, that's not supposed to be my final movie. Like, It's not supposed to be that vision. And what did they do? They did to James Wan the same way that they did to Zack Snyder, and they did to Patty Jenkins, and they did to also David Ayer. They screwed him over. That's the thing. The studio screwed him over. Why? Because they allowed James Gunn to do what he wanted, and again to pass his little notes. And it didn't help. It didn't help. On the contrary, it just ruined everything more than where it was. And look at where we're at right now. At the start, at the start of a reboot of the DCU with James Gunn. He doesn't kick off with a live action. He kicks it off with a cartoon. How sad is that? That to me tells me that's really bad. Honestly, it's really really bad. And when you look at that, I mean, what can you expect? You think Superman's going to save the studio? It's not. It's just not going to save it, honestly. And that's what the studio continues to do. It's just completely, completely embarrassing, honestly. You know. All right, so hold on. Let me look at these comments. Let me bring it up today. I know I'm like skipping through a lot of people and stuff like that. So, uh, like I told you, you see, another bot account. Somebody in here. Let me go ahead and block you because all right, that one I have blocked you the other day. I'm doing it again. Keep talking all that. I'm telling you, this is just a waste of time. The whole point is that with James Gunn, it's not gonna work. It's just not. And it just honestly, there's no solution with James Gunn. By now, it's proven. It's already 2 years going to 3 years. How much more do you need to cost the studio to finally realize, hey, look, we're not making money. We just keep on wasting money. This is why I'm telling y'all, it's going to happen. This The Dark Knight Returns with Zack Snyder, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time, and all the hints are right here. It's all right before us, and I'm telling you, honestly, it's just it's wild. It's wild. And this is why you see that all these bot accounts are coming out left and right, trying to say all their little negative stuff and things and stuff. And honestly, it's just completely hold on, let me see. I'm reading comments as I'm talking, so all right. So yeah, I'm aware that there's a bunch of bots in here and stuff like that too. So I've been having to filter that out, and but that's what happens. That's what happens when you're onto something, and they know that they can't stop us. Look, another one. All right. Look, yeah, I'm gonna have to ban you because again they keep on talking all this, and then they go and create another account. That's the thing. They go out there, create another account, they rechange the name, and then they come back to keep on, and I have to block them. So just bear with me and stuff like that. So you know yeah, I already blocked him, Chubby. Don't worry. He's constantly. I've probably blocked him like 3 times, and he always goes back and creates an account, and he always ends up coming back and stuff like that. Look again. You see? Look, you see? You can just see it. They all have like 0 followers. One. Look, man. Honestly, stop wasting your time. Honestly. Yeah, yeah, they're very annoying. They're very annoying. I know, completely. It's trust me. I have to deal with that constantly, constantly. So imagine on my end, like I have to literally go through the comments. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. This is why sometimes you see, like, if you see that I hit a heart on your comment, that means that I actually saw it because that's not automated. One thing you have to understand with the platform, sometimes it filters comments because it feels that it's like a spam. So you have to understand, like, I can't get to every comment. So probably I'll get to it a few days later. But if you see that I hit the heart on it, that means that I actually saw it, so I approved of it. But if you don't see that I hit it, then it's chances are it's just either floating out there somewhere, in their filter system, and I have to manually go and look at all the comments and read and stuff like that. So it's crazy, it's crazy. It's nuts. All right, let me see. All right, DC is not for kids. When it was made for kids, it sucks. For example, Teen Titans was a great cartoon until they made Teen Titans Go, which sucked. Yeah, it's like I know when they put on what is it, Cartoon Network, we already knew that it was gonna be bad and stuff like that. And I get it. They have to cater also to like every fan, but you really can't please every fan. It's just it's difficult. It's It's very, very difficult. Well, he wasn't a bot. He was, because he sounded like he was talking a lot of smack. Honestly, like I'm telling you, there's a few that they try to like hide their names too. So don't be fooled. You'll know that it's a real account when you go into their account and they actually have followers, or you can see it's like a legit, have videos and stuff like that. So you could see it and stuff. It's pretty sad. It's like this is why things are the way that they are right now on the internet with everything. And it just makes everything much more difficult. It's like we need it's pretty much like they're about to create Age of Ultron again. Oh man, this is crazy. All right, so let's see. Let me see. If Homelander got a movie, would Zack Snyder be a good director for it? Yeah, I mean, why not? I'm sure he can put some work out there and stuff like that. That probably not for everything, but for a character like that, I mean, yeah, he's pretty hardcore. So, I would like to see honestly a kick-ass movie be made by Zack Snyder. That would be dope. Honestly, that would really really be dope. You know, we need another kick-ass movie. Apparently, they're working on it. I don't know what's the update on that. Dark Knight Returns, yes, fire. That's what we need. Hell yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I can't wait. And like I said, a lot of things are coming. They're shaking up right now. It's all just a matter of time, and in due time, it will happen. It will happen. Honestly, we just have to keep on doing what we're doing. Honestly, it's incredible to see how we have so many people right here in this chat. There's a lot of people right here right now. That's pretty awesome. Just seeing everybody, and just getting the feedback from everybody and stuff like that. I know it's hard to keep up with every comment, so I do apologize on that. Just know that like I've seen your comment. I just can't get to each and every one of them. But the same thing with the videos and stuff. That's why it's easier for me to like reply and stuff like that. Again, if you see that I hit the heart, that just means that I actually went through it and stuff. So if I could respond, I will respond. But at least if you see that I hit the heart on it, then that I saw your comment myself. That way, you don't feel that, oh, you're being overlooked and stuff. No, I appreciate everybody. Everybody that's here. I even read all the bad comments and stuff, and like I don't mind you expressing yourself, but there's a limit. There's a time and place. But if you're gonna come here to bash and just talk smack, then I'm not. I'm deleting and I'm blocking, those comments, honestly, because we don't have time. We're just here. Everybody can talk, everybody can chat. I see that, but just keep it respectful. That's it. We all have to be respectful towards each other. We're all entitled to our opinion. Some of y'all might not even like or agree with me, and that's fine. Like I can live with that. That's not a problem. But don't go out of your way just to go and create now a video on my opinion and stuff like that. Like we don't need to do that. Honestly, if you don't agree with something, that's cool. Like it is what it is. But what can we do? Honestly, yes, the Batfleck returns. That's gonna be dope. Honestly, to see that, it's bound to happen. Honestly, at this point, there's just the evidence is right there. It's literally right before us, and I can't wait. Honestly, Supergirl's definitely gonna end up like Batgirl made, but locked in a vault forever. Yeah, chances are the same thing with Lobo. If Superman doesn't perform well at the box office in July, don't be surprised if they do the same thing to Lobo and they do the same thing to Supergirl, like they did with Batgirl, and just do a tax write off, and it would be cheaper for them, honestly. Because look, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was a studio, an executive at WB on the board, whatever you want to call it, I would tell them straight up. I would be like this. So if WB, anybody's listening, just listen to the following real quick. I would be, hey, look, if Superman doesn't perform the way that we want it to perform and bring the numbers and the revenue that we expect, we might as well just cancel everything and save ourselves the money, because we've already spent too much money, and just do to whatever projects. Let's say by that time, what do you have? Uh, Maybe the end of Peacemaker season 2. I wouldn't even bother moving forward with Amanda. What is it, Amanda Waller or whatever they want to call it, Waller. I would cancel Batgirl because I'm like I'm not gonna put that out in theaters next year in 2026, and I'm not moving forward with Lobo because that's gonna cost the company just way too much money. And if we're trying to save and make money, this is not the solution, honestly. And I'll just keep it real with them. Now, if they want to move forward with it and still do it, I'll be like, all right, you already know what's up. Just don't be surprised when when you see that Superman doesn't perform the numbers that you want, and the merchandise and all that stuff doesn't sell. So, it's just completely telling you, everything that what's to expect, honestly, you know. Yeah, I agree with you. Brown Destroyer, I agree with you. I think James Gunn is scared to say Superman's budget. Yeah, especially with the reshoots. Remember, they're reshooting right now, and like I said, all of that is on the shoulders of James Gunn, and he must be very, very nervous right now because that's a big responsibility you got to live up to. If you don't deliver to the studio, hey, you promised us these numbers and you're nowhere near it. I'm telling you, that's very concerning. As a studio, I would be like, hey, what's the update? I would be bugging him every week, every Friday, every Thursday. I'll be like, what's the update? What do we have? You get what I'm saying? As we get closer, I'll be like every other day. I'll be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll be here. You better update me. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is, and I have no idea. None of us can see what's gonna happen, but we know what's gonna happen at the box office. That for sure. Frankie, what up? All right, didn't Batman versus Superman take inspiration from The Dark Knight Returns? Yes, it did take inspiration, but you remember, I mean not The Dark Knight. Batman versus Superman was a rushed product because WB told Zack, "Hey, go ahead and just make Batman versus Superman." Zack wanted to introduce Ben Affleck's Batman before they did Batman versus Superman. But of course, because remember, we got Man of Steel, and then we were supposed to get next after that Ben Affleck's Batman, which would fall into this what we're talking about. Look at that. That isn't that amazing? The Dark Knight Returns. And of course, that's why we got some of those elements and it got thrown into Batman versus Superman. But of course, WB playing studio games, they rushed Zack and they told him, "Hey, do Batman versus Superman." So he was pretty much limited to do what he could with the time and what they pretty much like forced them to do because they still wanted to go up against, of course, the MCU. By then, I think they already had Iron Man 2 that was already done. They already had Iron Man 1, they had 2, and I think they were moving. I'm not sure if it was Thor or yeah, I think it was Thor that they were already starting to move into because at that time I think Iron Man 2 was already done and it was just releasing. And then they brought in Civil War, of course. I mean not Civil Was it Civil War? The one with Captain America versus Iron Man? I can't remember no more anyways. And because of that, they did what they did because Marvel was like, "Oh, hold on, they're going to make Batman versus Superman, then we're going to make Captain America versus Iron Man." And then that's why all that came out. And Zack wasn't trying to compete. Zack was just, "Yo, let me do my thing." But WB didn't let him and stuff like that. So, it is what it is. And, you know, the studio screwed everything up, honestly. If they would have just let Zack do his thing, I'm sure we would have been in a whole different position right now. Completely. But exactly. WB rushed everything. And they're still rushing it. They're still trying to rush everything. Look at what they're doing now with Creature Commandos, and like now all of a sudden now you want to bring in Batman. It's like, come on, man. It is what it is, I guess. At this point, all that matters is that we get the Snyderverse restored, and they just continue where everything left off. Because honestly, it's they're in a mess right now. They're in a mess, and it's not because of the fans. It's because of the executives. Again, the executives. I agree with you. I agree with you. Batman versus Superman was fire, especially the Ultimate Edition. Yep, the Ultimate Edition is what we were supposed to get in theaters, but again, WB doing what they do. Batman versus Superman superior to Civil War. Oh yeah, you know what? But I'll be real with you. I enjoy Civil War. I pretty much it's not all that, but compared to what like everything else they have now, I'm like, damn, they were in a better position. Now it's completely. Yeah, it is pretty wild. Oh, nice. You just watched Batman versus Superman this morning. All right, cool. I gotta rewatch it honestly. Honestly. So gotta see. I gotta rewatch them also. So all these movies and stuff. I gotta pick a day and stuff so I can actually watch it. But I think the next one I'm gonna watch is probably Man of Steel. I know a lot of people have been watching that one. I think I'm gonna have to check that one out again, rewatch it. I mean, Yeah, Civil War was a copy, straight copy from Batman versus Superman. Yeah, and they even admitted it. The people from Marvel, they even said it. They're like, yeah, we copied DC, and of course Marvel with Disney, they got that money, so of course they can afford it. So that's why they pretty much made so much profit with that and stuff like that. So you know, but we got them with Zack Snyder's Justice League. We got them good with that one. Snyder Cut was epic. Love Cavill's black suit. Yeah, yeah. It's like completely, honestly, like it's just awesome. It's crazy how you can rewatch these movies over and over and be like, wow, this is just freaking awesome. It's been so long. It's like, how do you not continue with this? Honestly, it's like it's crazy. But again, the studio has done this. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Like Omega, Batman versus Superman had great soundtrack. The music that they use in the DCEU, it's outstanding. It's amazing. I look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like every time, not every time, but every time that I can, I'll when I'm driving, I'll just, especially the nighttime, I suggest, like you try this, not nothing crazy, but just listen to the song of what is it? Do You Bleed from Batman versus Superman, and just crank it up as you're riding. It feels like you're in the Batmobile, like in that scene. I'm like, damn, like, wow, it's awesome how like you can just hear it and you can still relate to it, and it's like just that epicness, in that one scene when Batman's in the Batmobile and he's just like completely going at it with these goons. It's just like wow, like it's awesome. It's awesome, seeing that stuff. It's crazy, it really is. But at the same time, it's quality. That's what quality is, you know. For sure, Junkie XL. There you go. His scores are amazing. Yeah, they really are. I was listening to last night the one from Rebel Moon. I think it's called Quick Hatch. I think it's from the second one. I can't remember right now. All I know is that it's called Quick Hatch. That track, I could probably replay that thing like probably like probably easily like 10 times back to back, back to back, because it's that awesome. It's like that. That's what I'm saying. Like quality. That's when you have quality, like you just gotta respect it. It's like there's nothing else. It's awesome. The more I watch these Snyder movies, the more I love them. Yeah, we appreciate them as fans. We just completely enjoy it and stuff. All right. Superman doesn't need trunks. He looks better without them. Yeah, I agree. That's another thing too. That's why, like I said, before Zack Snyder, I never cared about Superman. I was never into that character. Once I saw Man of Steel, I was like, wow, like this is amazing. I was like, this is incredible, honestly. And Zack Snyder made me a Superman fan. And what James Gunn is doing, yeah, I don't care about Superman anymore. Unless it's just what Zack is doing and stuff like that. All right, let's see. I'm about to take a few more, and I'm about to get going like in 2 minutes. So drop your comments while we check these final ones and stuff. Yeah, and that's another thing too with Rebel Moon. Honestly, it's like man, it's completely amazing. It really is. All right, can you name every film part of the Snyderverse? I mean, it's a lie, But originally, with the Snyder films that he was doing, if you look at it, what he did, I mean, of course, he did Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, um, Wonder Woman is from Patty Jenkins, but you have to also remember the same thing like with Aquaman, the first one, that they were being consulted with Zack. So the directors, meaning Patty and James Wan, they were building off of what Zack had, and they included more to that. So, does that still fall under the Snyderverse? Yes, to me, yes, it does. Because they're still consulting him, and you can see the difference. And after we got the first Aquaman, and of course David Ayer, like what he did with Suicide Squad, he included Batman, there's Ben Affleck, and he had the Flash that made a cameo with Captain Boomerang and that bank scene. It's just awesome. That's what I'm saying. Like it was just setting up everything for greatness, but the studio just didn't want that, and they didn't allow it and stuff like that. So, but it is what it is. At least we have what we have, and again, we will stop at nothing. We'll keep on fighting, keep on going, and in the end, we got what we got, but we're gonna get more. All of this is just up to us, the fans, and like we just have to keep on fighting. We just can't stop, and in the end, it's completely going to change everything again. History. Yeah, that opening scene with Batman versus Superman. Yeah, it's like it's just you could feel it, you could relate to it and stuff. In that world and that with those characters and stuff. That's what I'm saying. What Zack has done is just completely ahead of the game. Within that cinematic universe and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm about to get going. I appreciate everybody for watching, for tuning in today and stuff like that. Again, this right here is this update. So I know more things are probably going to come up, and as time goes, we're going to be hearing and seeing a lot more things. So as always, hit that subscribe, keep on sharing the video, turn that notification on, all that good stuff you already know. So with that, I want to say again, thank you for watching. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of your day, morning, wherever you are around the world, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, peace.